Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Ball Homestead. Today we're going to make some yummy brownie deluxe. So we're going to get started by starting to make our cookie dough for the bottom crust. All right, we're going to start out by blending a cup of sugar, a cup of brown sugar, 2 eggs, and about 3/4 cup of melted butter, and some vanilla. We're going to mix that all together till it's nice and creamy. All right, now that this is done blending really well, we're going to add about 2½ cups of flour, some baking powder, and some salt. All right, now we're going to blend all that together and see how our consistency is, and we will add some chocolate chips next, and that is going to be our crust for these deluxe brownies that we're making. I think that's going to be about perfect. All I did was take that cookie dough and mash it into the bottom of a 9x13 pan. Next, we're going to top a whole layer of Oreos. All right, it should look something like this. And now I'm going to cheat on this part. I'm just going to mix up a brownie mix by the box directions, and we're going to pour that on the top. All right, got our brownie mix all mixed. I'm going to scrape the sides and make sure we get all that powder in there. And then we're going to top it on top of our cookie and Oreo concoction here. We're going to get it in the oven and bake it at 350 till this is all done. I'll look at the time and put that in the description along with this recipe, but I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. All right, now we're going to make some good old southern cornbread, and I like to use Martha White self-rising buttermilk cornmeal mix. What we're going to do is take 4 cups of this cornmeal mix and put in our bowl here. All right, now we're going to add about 1/2 cup of sugar, 2 eggs to this, and we are going to put in 2 2/3 cup of milk. Forgot one of the most important ingredients, bacon grease. I put in 1/2 cup of bacon grease into my cornbread. It gives it such good flavor. Now we're going to add that milk and get this mixed up. All right, we're going to get this in the oven and bake it for 20 to 25 minutes at 350 degrees. This recipe will also be in the comments. During these cold days, I have been having soup and cornbread, a different variety every day. So I've got my cornbread in the oven, and today's special is meatball subs. So we're going to get started making our homemade, delicious meatballs. These meatballs are one of my favorite items that we make here at the cafeteria. So we're going to get started with that, and I'm going to show you the tricks to make the best meatballs. First, we're going to start out with about 5 pounds of meat. I'd like to do this in 5-pound groups so that I can get it really good and mixed. We make a ton of these when we make, so I'll probably do this 3 or 4 times. But I'm going to show you how to make them. They're simple, and they're so easy and delicious, and they're always a really big hit here. So we're going to start out with about 5 pounds of meat, and next we're going to add some chopped onions, about 4 eggs, some milk, and oats. Right, so here we have our 5 pounds of meat. We've got 4 eggs, about a cup of chopped onions, and a cup of oats. And I did throw a little garlic, salt, pepper seasoning in here, and we're going to add some milk now. I'm going to add about half of this and start mixing. And then I'll show you what the consistency looks like when we're done mixing these up. I did just use about half of that milk. We're ready to start scooping our meatballs into our pan here. So we're going to get started with that, and I'll show you about how many we get out of 5 pounds. I just use a medium scoop and just scoop them in like that. I don't even reshape them because they're going to be perfect whenever they're done. All right, our meatballs, this is 1 5-pound batch. We ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 32 balls here. And then 13 more over here, just out of that 5 pounds. And we're going to turn around and do this again so we can do quite a few subs, because we put about 3 meatballs per sub. These are good just by themselves. Sometimes I'll make these and we will just do like mashed potatoes and stuff with them, but they are absolutely delicious. The sauce, I think, is what makes them so amazing. So I'll show you how to make that next, but I want to get another batch of these meatballs done so I can get them in the oven. Also, I meant to add on this, you're going to add 5 pounds of meat, a cup of oats, about a cup of onions, your seasoning, whatever your heart's desire, And on the milk, instead of 2 cups, you just need to add 1. I only added half while ago and it made the consistency perfect. I couldn't remember, it's been a while since I've made them, but I knew it was either 1 or 2. So 1 cup, but I will post all these recipes into the description. All right, our deluxe brownies just come out of the oven. They're super piping hot. We're gonna get these in the cooler and get them to chilling so we can cut them and see how they look and how they taste. Now we're gonna make some homemade ranch. Now, on a larger scale like this, I buy my ranch powder. I have made it at home with my herbs, but for here, we buy our ranch powder, and we just use Hidden Valley Ranch. We're gonna use equal parts of mayonnaise and milk and mix that together. I went ahead and added my ranch powder. This was a new container, so it was about this much of that container to the bowl, and I got all that mixed. I'm gonna give it a taste. If it needs any more seasoning, I'll add that now. But we're gonna let this set because it'll thicken it as it sets. That's absolutely perfect. I think the consistency is gonna be perfect once it sets for a little bit. And this will be our ranch for the day. We go through a ton of that. This is one of our best sellers with salads and stuff. And this is all we make at home is our own homemade ranch because it's so much better. Our soup a little stir here. We're just doing a chicken and wild rice today. It's still got a long ways to go, but hopefully it'll be delicious. I try to do different things. I wasn't even thinking about filming this morning whenever I put this together. But we're just gonna keep letting this cook in the crock pot. All right, for our meatball sauce, obviously I have way more than 2 cups here, but you're gonna use 2 cups of ketchup. Then we're gonna add about a cup of brown sugar. Obviously I have more than a cup of brown sugar here, but I'm making a massive amount. Now the secret ingredient is liquid smoke. We're gonna pour some of that in there and get it all mixed together. For a single recipe of this, if you're just halving this recipe or whatever, you're gonna just use about 4 tablespoons. Just pulled our beautiful southern cornbread out of the oven. It smells delicious. This will go with our soup of the day. And that is done. We will just cut this up and wrap it in individual pieces to go with our big bowls of soup. Just because I run a restaurant doesn't mean we still don't do home cooking. That's what we strive to do, is homemade most everything. Like, I will use a brownie mix here and there, but most everything we make is homemade here. And I like to give that, you know, because it's a dying art. Cooking is a dying art. You have so many processed foods and so much boxed ingredients. You need to learn how to cook from scratch because it's not only healthier, it'll save you money, and the food is so much better. About halfway through, when these meatballs are almost halfway done, we're gonna pour this sauce on them and put them back in the oven and let them finish cooking. Friends, these are absolutely delicious. Then we're gonna take them out, put them on a bun, toast them with cheese in the oven, and these meatball subs will be to die for. All right, our meatballs are about halfway done. We're gonna go through and add some of the sauce to the top and get them back in the oven. I'll liberally cover mine because let me tell you guys, this sauce is phenomenal and it makes delicious sandwiches. So now we're gonna get these back in the oven and cook them till they're done. Our ranch is done. It's the perfect consistency. We'll get this cupped up and in the refrigerator. Our brownies have cooled enough. They're still a little warm, but that just shows how yummy and gooey they are. They look delicious. I'll taste them after a while. Right now, I'm just not feeling it. I don't eat real early. But anyways, I'm gonna show you the meatballs and then we'll be finished. Our yummy meatballs are done, and so are our gooey brownies. So we're gonna give them a taste test. Meatballs are fabulous as always. Put that brownie. Those are good. All right, friends, those were some delicious brownies, and those meatballs are our family favorite. So give them a try. Thank you for stopping back by our homestead. Please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye.